Welcome back to the show. Another episode, 24/7 Laredo Talk Show. Hi, I'm Jesus Chugatza, your host. This show is about talking about issues affecting Laredo. This is an original, free, and independent news site. Talk about issues affecting Laredo. We're very lucky to have, fortunate to have Jackie Ramos, who's actually a board member of Laredo College, who's just been elected a few months ago, though she's already been there for at least, I believe, 6 years. Jackie, is that about right?
Yes.
You may be a newbie, but for this term, but you certainly have the experience being a college trustee. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. We're doing okay. We're getting settled into, to the new term. It's another 6-year term. A lot of people don't realize that our terms run on 6 years. So
Right.
I'm very happy and very humbled by the support that the community has provided for not only for me, but for our college and for my esteemed colleagues also as well who were elected, Karina Elizondo and Ms. Tita Vela. There are also two individuals that are going to be serving alongside myself for another 6 years, another term.
Well, you know what? You had the highest voter turnout as it deals with Laredo College. So obviously a lot of people respect you, like
Thank
you, and really enjoy you running or being a part of Laredo College. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now,
Thank you.
now with the changes, Jackie, there was a new board selection, right? I mean, were the
Board
officers?
officers. The new board officers are Ms. Lupita Cepeda is going to be the chair of the board. Mr. Jorge J.D. Delgado will be the vice president, and myself will continue to serve in the capacity as secretary. So we did have Judge Mercurio Martinez as our chair for the last term, and also for the secretary was Dr. Henry Carranza. They're still on board with us. However, every 2 years we elect new officers, and different people get different opportunities to serve in different capacities.
Good. Well, obviously it's your turn again, so I'm sure you can do a great job. Now, let me ask you, now that the pandemic we seem to be taking a slight turn for the better now,
Mhm.
where do you see the college going at this point, or where are we at the college?
Well, the college has worked, they've worked very consistently to getting us be protected and safe for the students, the faculty, and the staff. And we began last year around this time, prioritizing what was the most important aspects that we needed to take care of with this unprecedented pandemic that was coming up. We didn't know what was coming. And so what we did is we had foresight and we prepared, and we began by placing the authority to Dr. Solis to do what he needed to do to put everything in place. And then he created an HSOC committee, which is the Health and Safety Organizational Center. And that group of people went together and placed all the emphasis on what needed to be done for the COVID. And so because of that, we were able to do a lot of things that were preventive measures. And we have been ready to face the next level of this pandemic that's going to take place. So I'm very proud of the staff. I'm very proud of Dr. Solis for spearheading this group, and Dr. Ariesola is the one that spearheads that organization that's within our Laredo College. So we do have some changes coming about. As you all know, what we did is we canceled the classic online in-person learning. However, because the state requires Laredo College and all colleges to have certain departments or certain programs available face-to-face, we were able to adjust accordingly. And so some of those include the Police Academy, the Health and Science Services, the nurses, those had to continue to do face-to-face, cosmetology. But the academic side, we were able to have them online learning, provide those materials that they needed so that they can go ahead and do the online learning, which included Chromebooks, So
Right.
we were a lot like what the high schools were doing and the school districts were doing, but we were elevating it to another
But
level.
it is incredible, Jackie, how you and the college were, along with other public officials, had this pandemic coming at you, and you
Mhm.
all had to deal with this within the 30-day period to figure out a
Yes.
way to make it work.
Yes, I can tell you that it was a very scary moment because being an elected official, people look to you, people look to your leadership, and you have to act fast and you have to think for the community, and
Right.
then you have to think for yourself, of course, right? Like
Right.
how will it benefit those involved? And
Right.
so it is when in retrospect we look at what we've been through and we can handle anything.
Yes.
That's how I see it
Ha-
now.
ha-
I'm like, I can tackle anything. So
Well, having said that, now we're pretty much done a full year. It looks like we've turned we've turned it around with vaccinations. The college has done a great job in terms of dealing with most of the issues. Did you learn any, are there any lessons to be learned here
oh,
on
definitely.
governing?
There's a lot of lessons that we learned. We learned about acting quick, quick thinking. We learned about caring for each other. We learned about taking care of each other in ways of the health and safety of our fellow students, community members, faculty, staff. Personally, I learned to appreciate people a little bit more because
Yeah.
I don't get a chance to visit with them face to face. But I did realize one thing through this pandemic is that coming together is a very vital part of making anything work. I mean, if we're not on the same page together fighting, metaphorically, together to get ahead of the game, then we can't do what we've done. And I think we've been very successful. We're among the first colleges in the state to do a lot of the propositions that we did, sending them online, providing the nurses, doing the vaccines, things like that.
It was
That
an
I think
ongoing process. By the way, did you get all your, is there already a process to get all your employees vaccinated?
they're working on that right now as we speak. A couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, we began with our first vaccination clinic, and that was for the designated individuals, of course. But now the next phase is probably going to be where the education system is going to be addressed, and so excuse me, that includes the also the employees from Laredo College and the faculty and the staff, because they're the ones that are going to be receiving those students
Right.
as the time comes. Now, most of our students are going to be of age to get the vaccination, and we encourage, while we don't ask that they do, but it's for the betterment and for all of us. So
Right. To get
I
every,
personally encourage that,
right.
encourage
Uh,
anybody and everybody to not be afraid.
that's right. Everyone should take the vaccine as soon as possible, as long as they qualify.
As soon as
Take
possible.
a short break, Jackie, and we'll be right back. And we're going to talk about your nurses when we get back, because
Okay.
obviously they're community heroes in our community.
Yes, definitely. Thank
Thank
you.
To words of Professor Buitron. Caps 56 4 bids.
Welcome back to the show. We have Jackie Ramos, board member to Laredo College, who's here to talk to us a little bit about how LC handled the pandemic. But I do want to mention also the fact that you have community heroes within your district, in your college. That nursing program that you have has been on top of it. And congratulations to the nursing program. Congratulations to the board for obviously running such a good group of people there.
Yes. As you know, the nursing programs have been highly ranked among the state and the national level. And so we are very proud, not only of the students who are taking that initiative to advance their own personal lives, and being, being a frontline hero. That's really what it's all about. But I think our teachers, our faculty, and our staff that directly work with the individuals there in that department, they are the ones that are helping them get to the point where they want to get. They're the ones that are guiding them and leading them. And because of this, the vaccination clinics that we held, the majority of those students participated by volunteering. And before the vaccination clinics were being done at the college, they were volunteering at the local community part, the vaccination clinics that were being held in the community, including some of the school districts. So they're doing their part. They're actively engaged. They're learning about being actively involved in the community, especially when it comes to situations like this, like a pandemic, right? You need to bring the community together. And I think it speaks volumes for the staff that they have directed themselves to be positive attributes for our community. So I'm very proud of the program, and I'm very proud of the many programs that we offer our community. But in specific, this is the one that went and took the challenge to be, to help the community.
I mean, think about it. Last year, you had another group of nurses before, as they were graduating last year. The governor sort of made them, I'm not sure how they passed them to become nurses, or they test or something. And they were literally thrown into Mercy Hospital, Doctors Hospital, and they were in there and they were able to do the job because of the training at the college.
Right. Yes. And we're very proud of that. And we want to continue doing that for our community, continue providing the different programs for our community, so that they can see that, all you have to do is look at your backyard, which is Laredo College. Go there and, you can do whatever you need to do to be able to accelerate your personal.
Now you just need is a medical school.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's one of our biggest issues that we've learned about.
Yes, we've learned that. Amazingly, we've learned that we're underserved, right? Definitely. And so that would be, I believe, a goal that the community leaders would have to work on getting and doing that for their own community. I do know, and I might not be, a board member for TAMIU, but I'm still an alumni. And I do know that they're working on other programs that elevate the nursing program to another level. So, so what we begin with our nursing, they have others that can add to their professional careers.
That's right. You also have to thank kudos to TAMIU nursing program out there. They did their best as well. And so it was a team effort. Thank goodness we're almost there. But now we need the vaccinations. Now going through this vaccination process, I mean, there were a lot of students during this process who suffered from some type of mental fatigue or mental illness, having to do remote learning and things like that. Are there any programs at the college, or is there an acknowledgement by the college that a lot of our kids are having some issues concerning mental illness due to remote learning? Or
our advisors, who are the frontline people when they go and register, have been preparing for instances such as this, and they do have a number that they can call. I don't have it with me because you can contact the advisors, but they will direct you to the appropriate individuals that can assist you. At the present time, we haven't had that many. I think we've had a few individuals that have taken advantage of the 24-hour hotline that they have. But if you contact an advisor or your advisor, certainly they can direct you to the right place. And this is for our students during this pandemic time. But I think that this is going to continue because even after we come back in-person learning, we will still need to provide this alternative for the students.
Another program that the college had going was with the city of Laredo. where they actually trained over 300 people. Can you tell me a little bit more about that program?
Well, that program gave us 400 students this time around. So we were able to reskill 400 students to go back into the community. And excuse me, they were able to get a new skill. They were pharmacy, medical assistant, dental assistant, and trucking. Those were the top four programs that students kind of went to first. They're in a conversation right now with the city to continue, as we spoke, earlier about the contributions from the CARES Act, that we're getting more monies. So they're going to continue to work with the city to bring, to elevate it to not only 400, but we're talking about maybe 800 people that can be reskilled.
That's
we,
really,
we received $700,000. So
wow.
the last time.
Well,
And
this time you're about to get a whole bunch more based on what I'm hearing. So I'm looking
yes.
forward to seeing what the college does, what other creative programs they can come up with to help our citizens in our community.
I give kudos to the city of Laredo, the city council, for approving those specific programs that the college was able. That's another thing that we learned. We learned that across the board we can work together to make things better for the community. And I do want to give a great big thanks to Councilwoman Nelly Vielma, because as you know, she was a councilwoman prior to the election, but she was the one that spearheaded that initiative at the beginning and worked with the college.
You got to give
So
her
we're
credit
very
for doing that,
fortunate.
definitely.
Yes.
But you know, I noticed that that partnership of Laredo College and the city of Laredo was really strong. And it was very, very positive for our community during a very difficult time. It serves as a basis for future potential partnerships between the school districts and the colleges and the city and the county. Because when we needed the help, the college came through. So I'm
Yes.
very happy that you guys were doing that. Now, of course, the issue of the monies that are coming in from this new program, have you had an opportunity? Would you be looking at that issue? What will the board be doing concerning that? I mean, have they told you how much it's going to be? It's going to come in?
We haven't been told yet. I know that's in the process right now, but like we did with the last time, we're able to provide incentives or additional funding for the students through the CARES Act program. And as soon as we get the monies, we advise the students that if they are in need of funding, that to go ahead and contact the financial aid office, and they direct them to the appropriate place. That's another department that I think has been in the front line of our, our strategic ways of addressing this issue, this pandemic. Because what we saw was that a lot of people said, no, I'm not going to go to school. But we reached out and we asked, why not? Maybe this is an opportunity for you to be able to advance your career or advance your education. And so the money that's coming in is going to be allocated, of course, for the students and for different programs that might be available.
Right.
Now, we do have some programs that are coming up, and some of the programs include a bachelor's degree in organizational leadership, a transportation technology expansion, a cybersecurity institute expansion, a digital innovation center of teaching and learning, a homeland security studies expansion, the health science expansion, and the new programs, of course, including the personnel, a barber certificate. That's what we're looking forward to, a barber certificate. We have the cosmetology, and a forensic certificate for licensed peace officers. See, those are some of the monies that we would allocate from the CARES Act, and we would allocate for that for future projects, and bring that so that we can reskill our community and our workforce so that they can also benefit from these,
Well, that's really very good. In closing, I'd like to ask you, on a more personal level, did you have issues? Did you know anybody who had COVID? Were you affected by COVID-19, either your family or some friends of yours?
One of my family members did have COVID and ended up in the hospital. However, we personally were not like directly affected by it. I personally believe that I had gotten a form of COVID prior to this beginning because I had been very sick and I had all the symptoms. But of course, my diagnosis was not
Yeah,
that. So
but there were a lot of people who told me they felt the same way back before COVID actually started,
yes,
right about 30 days before.
yes,
Every year that they got it.
yes,
So it's
probably.
possibly. The reason I ask is because I'm wondering what the city as a whole is going to do to honor, or how we should honor the deaths of more than 800 people,
Hmm.
and how it was devastating for our businesses and the families as well who
Hmm.
lost a loved one,
Yes,
and what are the lessons to be learned. I mean, we still have to go through a period of closure to some
closure.
degree.
Yes.
And I'm just curious if that's something that you see that possibly happening as well.
I personally had thought about reaching out and trying to figure out how we could come to honor the memory of those individuals. I did lose good friends, lost
Sorry to hear
people
that.
that I knew for a very long time and couldn't believe that that was happening to them. And sadly, I still miss them. I mean, even to this day, even though it's been a couple of months, but still, I mean, I reflect upon what the lives lost and those that we need to honor their memory by being true good to ourselves and being able to protect ourselves and practicing safe distance and wearing our mask even though the state might have mandated that it's not a mandate anymore. I think in order to care for each other in the community, it's about looking out for their best interest and being there because I want to be safe and you want to be safe and I want to grow old and I want to, but I would like to continue honoring the memory of those individuals that lost this fight by wearing a mask and being true to myself. And I will continue to do that until I feel safe myself and until we can move forward to the next thing. And so,
If people were to keep wearing the mask, that's a good way of remembering the beloved ones that we've lost along the way.
mhm,
And I hope were able to come up with a plan that the college could spearhead,
yes,
because I gotta thank the college, the city, to some degree. All of y'all took the lead,
yes,
and it was hard for all of us. But
yes,
you all took the lead, and gracias a Dios, we're on the other side, hopefully. Just
yes,
keep wearing the mask and get vaccinated for those who have not gotten vaccinated.
yes,
The quicker the better, so we can go back to normal. I want to
definitely.
thank you, Jackie, for being here. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I would just like to add that we are in the process we just formed an ad hoc committee for our athletic programs, and I would like the community to know that we are in the process of evaluating the programs for future outcomes, and we will make the best decision possible from the trustees to the community members, and we just continue to appreciate the support that the community gives us. We move forward. We continue to look at all the different programs that we offer our community. And it's always in the best interest of our community because the community is the number one benefactor. And they're the ones that are always going to benefit from this. What we decide is what they're going to reap and they're going to receive from this community. And our beloved college is here for anyone and everyone. Even if we already have a degree, we can always go back and look for other alternative
Right.
certifications.
Right.
So the sky's the limit, and we want LC to be here for another 74 years
That's right.
as we complete our 74th year.
We're supposed to have lifelong learning, and one of the ways
Yes,
is going back to Laredo College. Thank you so much,
exactly.
Jackie, for being
Thank
here.
you.
I appreciate your time, and I also want to thank the public for watching the show. I remind everyone to continue to wear a mask as long as you can, definitely, even though it's not mandated, but it's still mandated. Some of the stores, the colleges, many of their places, you still need to wear it in public places. Please wear a mask. Get vaccinated as soon as you do qualify, and let's get to the other side as best as we can so we go back to living a full life. Stay
Yes.
safe, Laredo, and thank you, Jackie, for your time again.
Bye. Thank you.
Take care. We'll talk then. Take care.